and you can quote this on me. There is no way the Orioles or Red Sox make the playoffs this season. Uh, yeah, yeah. There's no way. There's no way.
I set the bar really low at the NBA predictions.
I don't think all Mavs fans look into the stats like I do.
It's not the great value Target brand toilet paper or whatever. It's the Charmin Ultra Strong.
I don't know if Nick Nurse is the coach for the Raptors. I don't know if he's the reason why they won the 2019 championship. I feel like that was more of a team effort.
The Mavs cannot say we do not miss Seth Curry shooting threes.
This questions the firing of Dwayne Casey, who I think is a very underrated coach.
To me, the Capitals really pushed all their chips for this season.
Hello, I'm Mike Grimes, and you've been listening to Outsiders Opinions with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our NFL Opinions of the Week. We've discussed teams' needs and all that, but this is a discussion as we do during the offseason or in between the draft. But I'll let the person doing this discussion, the discussion leader, and the man with the Tom Brady shrine in the back, Austin.
Yeah, so today we're going to be talking about Patrick Mahomes and the GOAT conversation, something that I don't think is all that big of a discussion, but people love to talk about GOAT conversations and the future of them. It's hard to ever hear a dull conversation about it because people are so passionate. What would Patrick Mahomes have to do to become the GOAT, in your opinion?
It'd have to be a lot. I'm kind of in the same boat. Like, I think you can be hyperbolic and say Patrick Mahomes, one of the best, because he's had an impressive start. But when you say one of the best and people compare, well, is he better than Tom Brady? No, Tom Brady's the GOAT. He's probably, outside of hockey, the only GOAT conversation that should not be debated in sports.
Correct. Yeah, because I can hear arguments in a lot of other sports for tennis or soccer or anything else. I can hear conversations for it, but hockey especially, you can't.
Yeah.
We will eventually. I want to compare the GOATs, so we'll do our GOAT in every sport. You'll do yours, I'll do mine, and we'll compare their dominance. But imagine this in our sport: 9 MVPs, 8 straight to start his career. First 8 years MVP. That's Wayne Gretzky. Imagine someone in the NBA. I mean, just coming in and 8 straight MVPs.
Yeah, it's definitely wild. And maybe if I didn't mean to take it down this road, but it just kind of happened because NHL, Gretzky's the GOAT, no debate. NBA, there's very debatable.
There's a 3-headed monster at the top.
Yes.
I can respect
people
your opinion.
forget about the 3-headed.
Yeah,
it's 2-headed.
No, it's very much 3-headed.
We're on the 3-headed team.
Yeah,
but yeah, just because Brady has 7 Super Bowls, and to me, what cemented it was probably the Bucks. There's no
it's a fact.
argument.
Here's the thing: Andy Reid is such a good head coach. He's an all-time great head coach, and to do it without an all-time great head coach, Bruce Arians, who never won it before. I'm not saying Bruce Arians is a bad coach, but he's not comparable to Belichick, right? Wouldn't you agree? He's not comparable to Belichick.
Yeah, no.
And so doing it without that all-time great Hall of Fame head coach is extremely important. And Andy Reid's such a great head coach that it kind of makes me wonder, like, again, Patrick Mahomes wins Super Bowl MVP. Did any of those throws anyone could have made? There was not, besides the run he made in the Super Bowl, there was not that moment that I was like, wow, that's MVP though. That's most valuable. The most valuable player award should have gone to Andy Reid, who had his masterpiece. And I really do think that makes me wonder, will Patrick Mahomes get the opportunity to show his talents with a different coach? Eventually, Andy Reid we expect to retire, but will that have enough time for Mahomes to be a difference maker? We'll see.
Yeah, and to me, the Bucks run with Brady was incredible because they won it in the first year, and it really poked a hole in the argument of Belichick made Brady or Brady made Belichick. Brady did it on his own. We have yet to see Belichick get a Super Bowl without Tom Brady, or
And
at least a competitive team.
Belichick has a losing record without Brady. So it really makes you wonder, did Brady make Belichick, or that whole conversation? And I mean, I don't think people understand how astronomically large 7 Super Bowl is. No team has 7 Super Bowls. No team has 7 Super Bowls. And
Yeah,
Brady started and won 7 Super Bowls.
And he was one win away from having the most playoff wins, just in general.
Yeah, no, he was one playoff win away from having more playoff wins than any other team. So
Yeah.
To your point,
It's pretty wild, and I get, like, I'm just not a huge fan of GOAT debates. Like, they're all fantastic players. But I understand why people will put Mahomes in that conversation, because here's my question to you. Has there been another incredible start to a career? Because I know Brady at the start of his career, he won a Super Bowl.
he won
But
3.
Sorry, what?
He won 3
He won 3.
in his first 5 years.
Yeah. But he didn't win an MVP in that time, right?
He won Super Bowl MVPs, but not MVPs.
Okay, then yeah. I guess Brady had it, which would even
No one is
more.
in his first 4 years starting, first 5 years in his career. So we'll ignore Brady's first season and Mahomes' first season, because both of those they didn't play. They took a year off because they had to grow as a player. And again, I do want, eventually we'll bring this up in a different video. I've said this multiple times now. The importance, or at least the effect, of taking a first year off for a QB. I mean, it worked for Brady. It worked for Mahomes. Maybe that's something we need to see more often. What are your thoughts on that, real quick?
Well, I understand why it would be beneficial, but to me, with the quarterback pay scale the way it is right now, to me, it puts me in a bad spot with taking a year off that rookie pay scale between a quarterback, or from a young quarterback.
But here's the thing: you would rather them be mediocre but play their first year, and then mediocre and never grow because they got thrown in too deep and their team wasn't good enough and they got hurt and all this other stuff
I
that can
think
happen.
they can still grow in that 1 or 2 years. Like, I wouldn't put them in a terrible position, but if I have a good team, like with good weapons, I'd want to see how he grows and then see what he can do. And then the next few years, okay, here's what I need to do to make him a better quarterback. And
the situation, though, is that you already have a good QB in the system. Drew Bledsoe or Alex Smith, who are already Pro Bowlers. And you're deciding, let's go with the young gun. It's hard to make that move straight away. It's with the Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love. Like, yes, I understand we're going to have to pay Jordan Love more money quicker since his time starting, but is it worth it for him to become a better QB because he's learning behind a solid leader?
We'll have to see with Jordan Love. Jordan Love is probably his success will be very interesting to me, because once you get past Mahomes, Josh Allen started in the middle of the year, right?
I thought he started at the beginning. I thought they got rid of Tyrod.
Okay, maybe he did. I can't remember.
Or it was very early in the year, I think. I'm pretty sure.
So
I'll check right now.
Yeah, I can't remember. But outside of that, Mahomes is probably the last guy.
He started 11 games of 16. Okay. So he started a little bit into the year, I believe. He played in 12.
Yeah, okay. And like Herbert, they were going to try to do it, but then Tyrod got hurt, and you put Herbert into that situation. So with me, if I'm confident in the quarterback I'm drafting, I have an idea of like, okay, I want him to reach my ceiling, but if I'm going to take a developmental quarterback, I'm probably not going to do it in the first round.
Yeah, we'll expand this conversation later.
Oh, yeah.
But how many Super Bowls does Mahomes have to win. Can he be your GOAT with 5 Super Bowls?
I think it would be tough. He'd probably have to have more regular season MVPs and great like regular
Well, then
great
why not? Because Peyton Manning has 5. I don't think MVPs is a great.
but he only has 2 Super Bowls. This is why I don't want to get into it much because the only really way that Mahomes could do it is win 7 Super Bowls or 8 Super Bowls, which to me is just
Impossible.
it's ridiculous. And he's already had an incredible career, so if he won like a third Super Bowl, that would be incredible. So
so if he won 5 Super Bowls and 4 MVPs, one more MVP than Brady, but we could argue that Brady should have won it at 44 last season. I guess technically not last season now, but you know what I mean. In the 2021 year,
it'd be on a difficult. It'd have to be on a case by case basis. Like, did he have more passing yards? Well, it was a bigger passing league.
The league changed. I think a big part is also longevity. I think the Bucks is what makes Brady the unquestioned, uncontested, forever GOAT unless something crazy happens. Because 43 win a Super Bowl, 44 almost win MVP. Probably now looking back should have. Because we saw how much the team really relied on him. And I just don't think that length of career will ever be matched, or at least that longevity at the end of his career. Even though there's other players that are probably going to play as long as him because of how medicine's working. Like he had 21 years starting. I can see someone starting 21 years, but that's probably if they start at a young age. If they go 2 years of college, okay, now they're drafted, they're 22 and play till 40, or 21 and play till 40 or 41, and okay, sort of, kind of, but to play till 45, to almost win an MVP at 44, and to win a Super Bowl at 43, Mahomes has to show that longevity for me to think he's the GOAT.
Yeah, and with me, I'm just I would have to think about it at the end of the career with Mahomes, which is why I don't want to put expectations on him. Like, you have to win 8 Super Bowls for you to be to be the GOAT. And to me, it's just I'll think about Mahomes when he calls it a career, which hopefully isn't for a long time, because to me he's an incredible player, and it's something that it's just wasn't expected when he came out of the draft and what the Chiefs did, even though he took a year off. It's still magical, and it has that way. He's the best player. He's the best quarterback right now. And I just want to not think about the future of Mahomes, but just take the approach of, man, Mahomes is incredible. I really haven't seen anything like this, while also recognizing Tom Brady is the GOAT. That's undeniable. Something crazy would have to happen. Tom Brady had an incredible stretch from as long as we were alive of what he did. And it's that Buccaneers run, I do agree, cements it. Because there was still an argument, but now, to me, that Bucs run was similar to the Magic when I think of GOATs. There's just a magic with how they play and make it look.
That's a great way to put it, Kevin. There is some of that. Is this real? You know what I mean? Like, there's that aura around what happened. There's that halo above his head. Like, is he human?
Yeah, and when you tell people, yeah, so Tom Brady has 7 Super Bowls. Yeah, no other team has won 7 Super Bowls. So Tom Brady as a franchise has a better playoff record than other legitimate playoff franchises that played for like 4 played.
Yeah, what's the most successful franchise in NFL history? Tom Brady. Like,
that would be a fantastic argument. Because the GOAT conversation comes up when you're just goofing around with friends. Man, who's the GOAT? Man, Jordan. Well, who's the GOAT in football? If there's not a Chiefs fan around, people will be like, Tom Brady. Yeah, it's really it, Tom Brady.
people
lot
don't
of
like
Chiefs
to
fans
discuss it in those little conversations because there's no argument to be had. People like to have an argument.
Yeah.
No, it's Jordan. No, it's LeBron. No, it's Kareem. And then you go to baseball and you're like, oh, you have an old head say it's Ruth, or you have a new guy say Bonds, and the steroids didn't matter, or you have a guy who's
Yeah.
really big pitcher and say it's Rivera, or it's Roger Clemens and the steroids didn't matter, or it's Randy Johnson. But no, football, there is no conversation. Even when you bring in other positions like Lawrence Taylor or J.J. Watt, Aaron Donald, guys that have had very long stretches of dominance for defensive players, or wide receiver with Jerry Rice. 7 Super Bowls is all you really have to say to have an argument because a QB has such a big impact on winning.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. It's one of the positions where, as we talked about with MVP, they put quarterback. That's the thing. And the thing that the sports media will also put it because that generates clicks and views and all that. But yeah, I would love to be in a debate of, oh, who's the greatest? What's the greatest franchise? And I would be the person that says Tom Brady.
Oh, I'm right there with you. You know me, I'm a Tom Brady. Tom Brady may be my favorite athlete of all time. I'll have to maybe rank my favorite athletes, but what Brady did, saying, no, I'm not going to retire. You guys want me to retire. I'm not going to retire. Rob Parker kept on telling him retire after the Giants loss, after his second Super Bowl loss, when he only had, I say only, when he had 3 Super Bowl wins. I shouldn't say only because 99% of players don't even have 3. But he said he was done, that he'd never even be in a Super Bowl again. And you know what? He went to 5 more Super Bowls and won 3. No, won 4. Wait, was he in 6 more Super Bowls? Or did he only lose 1?
He had to be.
No. He's in 5 more. He's in 5 more because he went to the 3,
That's
won
also
3, then he lost
another
2
thing.
Giants, and then the Seahawks win, Falcons win, Eagles lost, Rams win, Chiefs win. So yeah, those are the other 5. So yeah, he went.
That's
to 5 more,
another
won
thing.
4.
That's ridiculous. Just how many times he went to the Super Bowl.
Oh, 10? Yeah. I mean,
I'm-
there are franchises with more appearances. The Patriots have had 11 appearances, but 9 of those were with Brady. So do you really want to count that?
Yeah, no. Okay. Can you name some guys that have won 3 or more Super Bowls
Do you want me to
outside
name-
Tom Brady?
Matthew Slater. He's
not
there.
on this list.
He's 3 or more. Slater has won 3.
He
I know
probably
for a
would be on this list.
No, Slater is on the list. I know he's on
Okay.
the list because he won with the
13.
Patriots and the Seahawks against the
How many
Falcons
is
and against the
Slater?
Rams.
Okay. Oh, here it is.
Matthew Slater. He's won 3. I know for a fact he's won 3.
I'm looking for him on the list.
Control F, Kevin. Control F.
He's not. It says 0.
For 3 or more, is it more than 3?
No, there's 3 or more. 3 included.
Well, then I guess it just don't.
He's not
is
on
it
the
a-
list, but
is it an
Google
updated
says
list?
he has 3 Super Bowl rings. So he's just not on the Wikipedia page.
Okay.
I'll have you. There's a lot, but it's all because they played on the same team, and it's the Pittsburgh Steelers from the 70s.
Yeah, or it's a guy like Joe Montana or Jerry Rice or any one of those Patriots like Rob Gronkowski, Julian Edelman.
Yeah, Rob Gronkowski, Vinatieri's on it. But then you have Charles Haley, who was 5, and then you have Brady all alone with 7. But to me, that's just even 3 is a ridiculous number.
Oh no, 3 is a crazy number. What is this guy's name? It's like Kinjan or Kinjon, I think. Kinjon Barner. Search the name Kinjon Barner. KenjonBarner.
He is not showing up.
I'll just search him up in Football Reference or somewhere else. Because he is a very interesting name. He's never going to get a name drop probably in a video, but I do want to name him here. He only has 3 touchdowns in his entire career. But can you find him?
Yes, I do. So he's with Carolina. Is this... No, he was on Philadelphia.
Uh-huh.
So he's probably, how many Super Bowl rings does he have? 3?
3. Because he's on Philly in 2017. Then the next year he's on Carolina again and gets traded to New England. And then in 2020 he is with Tampa. So
Yeah.
Kid John Varner. I remember watching this guy play for the Bucks at one point of the year, and they said that in 2021 he played for the Bucks as well. And I remember watching him when he played, or he got in a snap or something, and he they were talking about it. This guy's 3 Super Bowls. I'm like, 3 Super Bowls? How does this guy? I don't even know who this is.
Yeah.
But he has 2 Player of the Weeks, and both of them are special teams. 2017 Week 5 and 2019 Week 11 Player of the Weeks on special teams. But 3 Super Bowls, very, very, very impressive. I don't really care if he played in the Super Bowl against the Patriots and won. He was a returner for them, but he did not play in 2018 and he was on the injured reserve against Kansas City. So, but 3 Super Bowls. But that just kind of shows you how crazy it can be.
Yeah, and just how lucky some guys have to be, and just how some guys defy that luck or that tradition, like Tom Brady did with age. But yeah, I think this video, it's good that we talked about it, but I think we can lay to rest the idea that let's just not bring up the Patrick Mahomes is the GOAT conversation. We'll do our best.
Oh, I definitely won't be, because you know my take on it.
But yeah, whenever, and this is for the listeners too, but whenever we say Mahomes is great, we're like, he's just great, he's fantastic. We're not going to extend it. We can say he's one of the best, but I think that's a hyperbolic statement.
Yeah, at this point, if he were to retire today, I still wouldn't put him in my top 8 QBs ever. If he retired today, because you have to include there has to be some semblance of longevity, in my opinion. Your prime does not tell me how good you are. Matt Ryan, who I think honestly should be a Hall of Famer, but his prime, he would be a top 10 QB. If we're just talking that 2016 year as his prime, we can't just look at prime. Prime's a very flawed stat. And I think obviously Mahomes has a easy trek to get top 5 in my opinion, or even top 4, top 3. Top 3 will be tough because of Manning, Montana, and Brady. Oh, yeah.
But I think it's just because of the start.
Mahomes it's people see the start, and again, I'm hoping that Mahomes can possibly make it a conversation again, because it's been a while since I've even entertained the thought of anyone besides 12 being the GOAT.
Yeah, and yeah, it's probably it's just something. It's just, I think it comes up because people are like, man, he's one of the best. Well, is he better than Brady? And then people will be like, no. And then people are like, why not? Well, because Brady won 7 Super Bowls. Mahomes has had an impressive career. He's had some incredible stats. He's thrown over 5,000 yards in the 2 seasons. And one was this past season where he threw 5,250. And in his quote-unquote, his first season as a starter, he threw 5,000 yards. Yeah. Others, he came close. And he had 50 touchdowns. Wow, that's truly incredible. 2019, he only had 26 touchdowns. Oh, it's because he played... I think that's the year when he did the quarterback sneak and hurt his knee.
He still played on almost, if not every game.
Okay. It says he was only started 14 games in 2019.
Yeah. It's still majority of games. That was definitely his worst year, I believe.
Yeah.
Even though 2019, they won the Super Bowl. So.
Yeah. But yeah, I think, is there anything else you would like?
I mean, not now. I mean, we kind of waited to rest, as you put it.
Yeah, I'm not the best for this conversation. Because I'm not going to argue Mahomes is the best or better than Brady.
Well, I won an argument. I would have been pretty shocked if you decided to take that side.
That's true. Yeah, we'll see at the end, and we'll meet at a table and have the discussion.
I'm ready.
Yeah, in 20 years, we'll see what happens. But yeah, so there we go. People that wanted a ESPN or big sports news debate, that wasn't happening. So just go turn on First Take and see what they say. Probably be something about the Mavs. We'll see. Let us know what you think. Thank you for listening to Outsiders Opinions.